Running regulated manufacturing batches on spreadsheets or generic project tools creates a structural liability. You are managing production without a defensible electronic batch record. When an FDA investigator walks into your facility unannounced, they prioritize structural proof over good intentions. They are looking for evidence of control that exists regardless of user discipline. Most mid-sized manufacturers are trapped between two extremes: spreadsheets that lack any internal enforcement, or legacy systems like Master Control and Viva that treat compliance as an expensive, complex configuration. These systems often permit non-compliant actions, like an operator overwriting a critical cell or a manager approving their own work. They rely on the user to follow an SOP, rather than the software to enforce the rule. If your compliance strategy depends on employees never making a mistake, you are essentially one human error away from a 483 observation. BatchBuddy is a GMP-native operating system. Compliance is encoded into the database architecture, ensuring that the system itself prevents non-compliant actions. An auditor's first check is often the formulation. They need to see that the batch followed the recipe precisely, without any silent, untraceable modifications. BatchBuddy creates an immutable snapshot the moment a run starts, locking every process step into a frozen execution record. This provides a structural guarantee. If the master template is edited mid-production, the historical execution record remains physically isolated and unchanged. By locking the recipe at run start, you provide the inspector with structural proof of data integrity, eliminating the risk of mid-production formula drift. The inspector will then move to execution and intent. They need to verify that data was captured in real time on the floor and that approvals came from authorized individuals. Operators log mixing, weighing, and inspections on a mobile interface as they work. To comply with FDA Section 11.10e, the system automatically flags entries made more than 24 hours after the fact and mandates a documented reason. Separation of duties is enforced at the database layer. If a person executes a step, their attempt to provide QA approval is rejected. Valid signatures generate an HAMAC SHA-256 hash, mathematically binding the signer's identity to the exact record state. These database constraints ensure that intent and role separation are verified at the point of action, which blocks unauthorized self-approvals or post-hoc alterations. Auditors also scrutinize your exceptions, how you handle deviations, and whether you can prove they were correctly resolved. When a deviation is logged during execution, BatchBuddy automatically triggers a Kappa workflow. This creates a native link between the incident and the corrective action, without requiring separate systems. The system uses an append-only audit trail, scanning the cryptographic chain before release. Any broken link or modified timestamp triggers a system-wide flag. Instead of searching through fragmented binders and emails, you provide the inspector with a pre-verified, unbroken chain of evidence. This structural approach moves your facility past the historical era of manual tracking and the anxiety of last-minute audit preparation. BatchBuddy follows a fail-close discipline. If the system detects a missing signature or an incomplete compliance check, it refuses to close the production run or release the product. Small to mid-size manufacturers now have access to enterprise-grade defensible compliance without the high costs or long implementation timelines of legacy software. A GMP-native system means that the compliance logic is the actual infrastructure of the software. Don't wait for your next audit to reveal your vulnerabilities. Start your free trial today and generate a compliant electronic batch record in 15 minutes.